Ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe that just in the first quarter of 2025, Burkina Faso is experiencing what we see as an economic turnaround. Ladies and gentlemen, would you believe that Burkina Faso is seeing a recorded trade balance surplus of 354.5 billion CFA franc from January to March 2025? That is just in 3 months. And they said, compared to a deficit of 69.3 billion during the same period in 2024. Definitely, that means there is a geometric progression of growth economically in Burkina Faso. If you compare 354.5 billion CFA franc to a deficit, now the 354.5 billion pounds is a progression, right? Is a positive, is a profit, to a deficit of 69.3 billion CFA franc. That is a massive growth progression. For the first time, Ouagadougou is selling more than it buys, right? The increase is due to a large part in processed gold sales and agricultural exports. Now Burkina Faso is now refining its own gold and all of that, and that has affected their exports massively. The increase is due to a large part in gold sales and agricultural exports. Foreign sales reached 1.348.5 billion CFA franc. Jeez. An increase of 62.7 over 1 year. Improvement have been made in the mining sector, majorly gold exportation, agricultural sector in cotton, peanuts, and shea butter. Further invested $180 million in the agricultural sector this year. When he went to Bobo de la Soul, we saw what he did to the peanut factory, what he did with the cashew nut factory. Now when you think about what they are doing, right, is we're talking about the mechanized equipment. Like Burkina Faso is going extensively industrial, and we are beginning to see the positives of everything that they are doing. Now, according to what we heard, they said there is a mission statement behind all this investment, especially the $180 million investment in the agricultural sector. Captain Ibrahim Traore, apart from targeting massive agricultural exports, they said he has said that Burkina must feed itself. Jeez, this is looking dangerous, man. They said imports has reduced and exports has increased geometrically. Ladies and gentlemen, I am jealous. Though, let me admit something to you guys, right? The reason why I keep promoting Burkina Faso is that I'm planning that in the next 4 to 5 years, probably 3, we don't know. It depends on, how God wants to plan it. I should be a resident of Burkina Faso. I want my kids to be born in Burkina Faso. Possibly, I might even marry a Burkina Faso woman. I really, really love Burkina Faso as a country. I have to be honest with you. This is a country that is actively fighting terrorism, procuring advanced military equipment. But I don't know if they've got an air-to-surface defense system. But I believe that with their partnership in Russia, with time, they will be able to acquire all these things. And, just imagine if they had absolute peace, how much development they would have made. And these are the things that happen when you have good leadership. Now, I'm not saying that the democratic rule of government is absolutely obscene. Like, we are seeing another massive improvement in Ghana. Look, I take my hat off to the Ghanaians, the president, the Ghanaians. I think the Ghanaian people are different. They are different. Ghanaian people, if you look at this progression of this Ibrahim Traore movement, the Ghanaians are championing this cause because those guys are different. You just look at Ghanaians, you just know that they are different. They've never been like Ghanaians in Africa. They've never been. You can't put Ghana in 1st to 5. They are always like around 1 to 3rd. That's how good Ghana is. And their currency is far better than many currencies in Africa, if not top 3. maybe number one currency right now. I don't know which one is better between the Ghanaian cedis and the South African rands. But Ghana, man, don't play with those guys. Those guys are doing great things. But you know, I mean, it takes us back to the Captain Ibrahim Traore rhetoric. They say we are poor people. You know, they say our continent is poor. But when we tell them to leave, what happens? So ladies and gentlemen, you know, I want to be a part of that Burkina Faso project. I really want to go there. I really want to live the rest of my life there. You know, when they say it is land of the upright, I think Thomas Sankara never made a mistake to call it the land of the upright, because I thought of something, right? There was a news that came out when they said the guys were paid, Ibrahim Traore's close security guard were paid $5 million to unalive him, right? So I was putting myself in that situation in my own country, right? $5 million is much. $500,000 is much. I think $50,000. No matter how important you are, the next question they're going to ask whoever is giving them that money is, how do you want us to do this? How do you want us to perform this execution? And I'm telling you, they won't disappoint. So it shows me a lot about the type of people you have in Burkina Faso. If you can offer somebody 5 million who has all the opportunity, and there were security guarantees, including like relocation promises and everything, and this individual decided not to go with that treason, and he decided to choose the most noble, the most royal pathway. I mean, look, it has nothing to do with this. At this point here, it has nothing to do with either Ibrahim Traore or Yobre or the guy that was giving that money. I think it has something to do with the Burkinabe people. Those guys are different. Those guys are different. And a lot of people have been saying, why is a lot of youths joining the movement? I will explain to you. But Ibrahim Traore is 37, right? And most of the youths these days now were within 20 something to 30 something, right? And even 40 something. So we identify with Ibrahim Traore perfectly well. You will hardly see an African youth that don't love Ibrahim Traore. You will hardly see. We love this guy from every part of Africa and even in the diaspora. So ladies and gentlemen, for those that don't believe in this revolution, you better think again. Look at the template that the AES is leaving on ground. So if you carry an AES passport, that means you can go from Mali to Niger to Burkina Faso without having, like, all you just need is your ticket fee. You can go by train, you can go by bus. Do you know what that means? You don't. For me to go from my country to another country now, I have to get the visa. I have to it's a lot of things. But if you're a Malian, it's now almost looking as if you are a Burkinabe person. If you're a Burkinabe person, it's now looking as if you are a Nigerian person. So imagine if all of Africa is like that. We have one joint security system. Do you know how great Africa can be? Do you think there is any weapon system in the world that we cannot afford with the mineral wealth of Africa? A lot of people, I know, they are thinking from the parochial perspective. Oh, what do I choose to gain and all of that? There are some people who don't really think about the collective greatness of Africa. They just want to be there. And ladies and gentlemen, in my next video, I'm going to show you some of these people. It's your boy 72 Android signing out. Enough said. But before I go, I want to appreciate everybody in the Android community for staying tuned to us, for supporting us, giving us the morale to keep propagating the good news of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you all, man. Bye-bye.